welcome to my very echoey room. I have been moving furniture around, cleaning up the house, killing bugs, dust mites. So at the moment this room is pretty empty and echoey, so I do apologise. It should be back to normal somewhat soon. But I'm here with my co-host. Say hello, ferrets.
I just ate a pancake.
He ate a pancake, everybody. Good for pancakes. Pancakes are good for you, man. Alright, so obviously, guys, we do have some news to cover for the day, for the week. It has been a little bit of a busy week when it comes to gaming. I've been killing bugs, Starship Trooper style. Ferrets has been eating and killing pancakes. Besides pancakes, what else have you been doing, bro?
Trying to prepare to take the next step into my life.
You're going to buy a house?
No, I'm trying to find a different job. I'm thinking about trying to become a truck driver.
Right, gotcha. Ferrets is going to be a truckie, everybody. All right, everybody, let's jump into it. Star Wars Outlaws, the gift that keeps on giving. The one that's going to help me renovate my spare room into a games room.
Are you also going to share your screen or no?
Oh, good point. Yes, you're probably still watching the other screen at the moment, aren't you?
I am, yes, and all I see is stream pause. It's my favorite program, by the way.
Stream pause, yeah. So let me go through and that, and then share screen and change window, and that, and go live. There we go.
Yay! There it is.
So, sorry guys, we're playing around with AI and I was showing him the comfy UI earlier. So, Star Wars Outlaws. Sales are 50% lower than what Star Wars Jedi Survivor in the United Kingdom. Who would have thought? Star Wars Outlaws does not seem to be doing well. So, a new report claims that Star Wars Outlaws sales are 55% lower than sales in the Star Wars Jedi Survivor in the United Kingdom. Was Star Wars Jedi Survivor successful? I suppose it probably was, wasn't it?
Actually, it was pretty successful, to be honest.
Right. So, according to Nintendo Life, Star Wars Outlaws topped the sale chart in the United Kingdom, besting Hogwarts. Wait, what? Star Wars Outlaws topped the sales charts in the United Kingdom, besting Hogwarts Legacy, Elden Ring, and Armored Core?
Like I told you, it was pretty successful.
So that's Star Wars Outlaws, though.
Oh, Outlaws.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I thought you said the Survivors. Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
I don't know about it. I mean, I feel like that might be a little bit stretched.
Yeah. Maybe they're comparing, like, although I don't know how many people were buying Hogwarts Legacy on Nintendo, but still. However, the games industry head Christopher Ding reported launch sales are 55% lower than what Star Wars Jedi Survivor did. He also noted it was a 15% bigger than Ubisoft's massive last game, Avatar Frontiers Pandora. In a follow-up, he added, it turned out that that there may be some missing data from the physical numbers, so it's worth waiting for the end of the week when the digital sales are in, which is just truly general. Otherwise, however, the data points indicates that Star Wars Outlaws might not be selling well at all. True Trophies reported that in the most popular PS5 and PS4 game charts, which ended in the week of September the 1st, that Star Wars Outlaws placed 25th on the charts in its first week of release. The outlet keys something shared its 25th and none below the middle of the chart and sits behind pretty much every major and middling level live service game in terms of popularity right now. For comparison, it performed worse than games such as Red Dead Redemption 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring, Ubisoft's own Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege, and Black Myth Wukong. Well, everything's performed less than Black Myth Wukong. On top of this, the Side Scrollers podcast owner and host Craig Skit aka Stuttering Craig, shared that source on inside the major box office store informed him that there'd only been 41 pre-orders for Star Wars Outlaws in any major metropolitan area where 27 locations of the chain are located. So just under 2 pre-orders per store. He wrote on X at the end of August, I have an insider who works for the high-traffic game stores in one of the most popular places in the US. They have 27 stores in the area and have been a total of 41 pre-orders for Star Wars Outlaws. 41, there's no hype for this game. Following the announcement, Firewalk Studios, Concord, getting shut down less than 2 weeks after its release. Don't worry, we'll cover that. Craig shared some of the colour regarding the pre-order sales for Concord and how it compared to Star Wars Outlaws. He wrote that Concord, in my insider, told me in June and July and August, had only 231 pre-orders company-wide. 91 of them were cancelled before the shutdown of the game. They sold 140 copies of the Concord over the 900 stores. So it's roughly 1 for every 6. So Star Wars has been better than Concord, but you know, at least they're getting 1 to 1.5 to 1.7 sales per store in the metropolitan areas, at least, where Concord was getting 1.6. So definitely it's doing better than Concord at least. Furthermore, Twitch streaming data from Twitch Tracker appears to show a significant decline in the interest in the game just weeks after its release. The game's peak of average viewership occurred during the game's 3-day early access if you pre-ordered the Gold or Ultimate Editions, don't be a scrub, or subscribe to Ubisoft Plus, definitely don't be a scrub. It hit an average viewership of 45,551 viewers on August 27th and has since been declining. On 2nd of September, the average viewership was down to 6,668 viewers. As for the peak viewership, it hit a 117,000 on August 26th, but like average viewership has declined since then. What are your general thoughts on Star Wars Outlaw? Did you buy it? You passed on it too, didn't you, Fergus?
Yeah, I did not actually buy it.
From what I hear, it's a lot of Star Wars without lightsabers. So is it really Star Wars? But the Star Wars Outlaws actress Kimberly Gonzalez says video game industry has a lot of misogyny and praises game for only having a female point of view. Which is weird because for years they've been trying to tell us that if we don't have females in the game, then the females won't play the game because they won't be able to identify with the lead actor or the role because they're not female. And now we have females in the game. The females still generally aren't playing it, but now, so I guess using their logic, the males can't play the game because we don't identify with the female lead. Is that how it works? So
exactly, that's exactly how it works. And
yeah.
Aren't you? Yeah.
So Kimberly Gonzalez, the actress who plays Kay Vess in Star Wars Outlaws, says the video game industry has a lot of misogyny while also praising Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment for ensuring only character in the game is female. And just wait for our only male game to come out and for the people to scream, Ree! An interview with CGM, the middle of August, the Outlaws' Dana Ilin asked, so our nerdy fandoms especially think Star Wars present very male-dominated, whether that's creative team or the fans. What's it like to lead the charge on this both as the creative team as well as the voice and the body of Star Wars Outlaws to lead this male-dominated universe and have it be woman first right now? If the vast majority of your player base or your fans is male, maybe you should be doing things to accommodate the males who play your game.
But that would be anti-woke. They would never do that.
Yeah, wait till I get a hold of our game. The game's main writer, Nikki Foyer, responds by recalling a moment where she made a lightsaber at a galaxy edge and then admitted she wants to be Han Solo. But hang on, she can't be Han Solo because she's a woman, he's a male, and therefore she won't be able to identify or to have anything in common with Han Solo, because that's what they keep telling us, right? They keep telling us that if they're female, they won't be able to relate to Han Solo or the males. So then why is she saying she wanted to be Han Solo? Because that would be counterproductive to what their bullshit they're spewing. She cried very hard the whole time because it was like, this brand meant so much to me. Really? It meant so much to you? Did it really? Name 10 characters besides Han Solo. Go on, I'll wait. And I didn't have someone like Kay to really see myself in. Yet you still managed to be and wanted to be Han Solo. It's weird. It seems like that doesn't seem to work. She added, I love Princess Leia, but I wanted to be Han Solo. So why didn't you want to be... Well, you say you wanted to be Han Solo, and you love Princess Leia. So why wouldn't you want to be Princess Leia? She's a fucking princess, for a start. So what is it about the fact that you had a female in the universe, which apparently you don't want to be, but hang on, according to you and your woke mob, you need female characters because that way you can relate to them. But you had a female that you didn't relate to. Seems like that just doesn't seem to work. It's weird, that. Getting branded life says blah, 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 blah. And our whole team really has been going from the goal from the beginning. Yep, this is why your game's not selling very well. Yes, to be a leading woman is not just in Star Wars, but in the video game industry, which also tends to have a lot of limitations and misogyny and that kind of in and out politics. Who can be a part of it and who wants to play? I'd like you to reintroduce you to the female heroine called Annalena Joel's Tomb Raider, or any of the Tomb Raider video games, where you're saying that this video game industry doesn't seem to have a lot of leading women. Have you played fucking Tomb Raider?
I do like Tomb Raider.
I think everybody likes Tomb Raider. Well, let me rephrase.
For different reasons.
Everybody liked Tomb Raider, but then they made a pretty much flat as attack. But, you know, that's what I say. Like, at the end of the day, they go on about how they don't have, like, these female representation or these female characters. But, like, have you heard of fucking Tomb Raider?
I have. I keep track of Tomb Raider stuff for certain reasons.
Okay, so besides watching 3D porn of Tomb Raider...
Hey, no, it's not porn. It's research material.
I must admit, some of that 3D art or 3D porn, I tell you what, fucking hell, it's crazy. I must admit, I've had to watch a few videos on YouTube about putting in like female anatomy into characters and stuff.
So, research material. Gotcha.
Yeah, but unlike yours, mine is actually research material. Yours is just the fact.
Mine is research material too. It's to see what I like and what I dislike. It's researching my personality.
Right, sure. But unlike you, I've actually had to go through and actually like work out how to put like bones in like the boob area and the butt area and all this sort of stuff. And...
I like bones too. Just the ones that then with ER.
I can just imagine when you get hold of like the alpha for my game is like you're going to be making your character jump up and down and just seeing how much she jiggles.
Boing, boing,
Boy.
boing.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm not doing it either, right? Okay,
I like volleyballs, guys. Boing, boing, boing.
I'm about to start like actually going through and creating the NPC characters for like the madam and the brothel workers and stuff. So like you're going to be seeing it over the next couple of weeks. Literally the NPCs with like jiggle physics, hopefully. Like to quote Jared from Star Citizen, obviously, this is game development, not, whatever. But hopefully, hopefully this week we'll start doing some of the character development, and I've already shown you a concept art of like the lead brothel madam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on her? Do you think she's? I don't know about the outfit. I think the outfit's a bit too conservative for a brothel owner, though. Don't you think? I think Ferris is looking up the image again.
No, I was actually focusing on something else.
Okay. So what do you think of the image of the brothel, madam? Do you like it? Do you think she's hot?
I mean, she's not my type, but she's alright.
Yeah. Well, we know your type. Anyway, getting back to Star Wars. So obviously,
actually, I have a new type now, but alright, we shall continue on.
But hey, just be lucky it's not Asian, because that's my type. Ubisoft's stock price dropped 7% as company faces pressure from investors to take company private, and Star Wars Outlaws sales are soft. So Ubisoft, the company behind Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, saw its stock price drop 7% in a single day as it faces pressure from investors to take the company private, as well as reports of the soft sales from Star Wars. The stock price has fallen to a low of $13.67, specifically as it fell over the 7% over the past days, according to the Yahoo Finance. The stock price declined 16% over the past 5 years, and it's down 41% in the last 3 months, nearly 30% in the last 6 months. The most recent stock drop comes as the wake of Star Wars Outlaws reportedly having soft sales, as well as Slovenian investment firm AG Investments urging the company to go private. Now, the one thing I would find interesting about this is if the company goes private, I don't think they have to announce their finances.
Ooh, sneaky.
Which would be where they get the vast majority of their funding from. Like, for example, one of the things that we're able to do with for example, BlackRock and all that sort of stuff, is we're able to go through and actually find out which company goes through and gets the money from BlackRock because of finances. But if your company is private, I'm pretty sure that limits us from finding that stuff out. So it makes you wonder why they want the company to go private, and does make you wonder if it's because of something like that. But anyway, that's my guess if I had to guess. Most recently, blah, blah, blah. First, it was reported that Star Wars sales were performing much worse than Star Wars Jedi Survivor in the United Kingdom. The games industry head Christopher Digderaid, that we've already talked about, the 55% lower. He added it was 15% bigger than Ubisoft's massive last game, Avatar Frontiers from Pandora. This data was seemingly reflected in the report from True Trophies that detailed the game only hit 25th place on its top 40 most popular games on PlayStation. We've already talked about that as well. The second week on the chart, the game fell to the 28th place. For comparison, Concord was 29th on the chart during its early access and open beta weekends, which admittedly did see a lot more players than when it went launch, right? So during the betas, it was around 2,000 players. During launch, it was around 600. So it gives you an idea of sort of where Star Wars is sitting, which is not good. But I would say that so I would say that the reason why they want the company to go private, I do wonder why they want that. So according to the letter, the Gilmont family controls more than 25% shares in the company and around 29% of the company's voting rights. So interesting, the letter accuses Tencent and the Gilmore family of purposely degrading the company's stock price so they can purchase shares to take full control of the company. The letter asserts that we believe that Gilmont family and Tencent are discontinuing potential value of Ubisoft in order to buy more shares at the lowest valuation. So it is interesting that, and to be honest, I was actually going to start buying shares in game companies when they sort of started bottoming them out like these ones are. I was going to wait for Assassin's Creed before I started buying shares for Ubisoft. Mainly because I want to do a hostile takeover. In order to improve Ubisoft, the firm suggests the company may be taken private by the Gilmore family and Tencent in order to allow the company to address its issues away from the public market pressures. That's what I thought. And make it necessary to change without harming minority shareholders, retail investors, and pension funds. These are victims of these efficient problems and mismanagement by current leadership. They also urge that Ubisoft sell off a number of its studios. Ubisoft should consider selling its studios that possess talent but are focused on non-core games, allowing Ubisoft to streamline operations and focus on its main IPs. Those main IPs the company wants to focus on are Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and the various Tom Clancy titles, such as Splinter Cell. Finally, they want the company to hire a new CEO. If these demands are not met, the investment firm threatened that we will use the French minority law to collect enough shareholders to start a proxy fight and initiate sale process of Ubisoft to increase the shareholder value for all shareholders. So it seems like they're having a bit of an internal civil war inside Ubisoft. I don't know whose side I'm particularly on. I do worry that the reason why you might be trying to take a company private is the fact that you are hiding things like where you get your money from BlackRock and stuff. But also, it can also be good because it can give you a chance to go through and sort of sort out things and sort of get away from public scrutiny and to sort out, to streamline processes. So it really does depend on why they're doing it, but it does make me question a lot of things. What are your thoughts on this whole Star Wars Ubisoft? You have any thoughts and opinions on it, Ferrets?
No, I really don't have any.
Nothing to add?
Opinions, really.
No. Are you interested in any of the Ubisoft title? Like they want them to focus on things like Star Wars, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. I don't know why they'd be watching.
I'm not interested in any of their titles at the moment, but there is one title that they will be working on here soon, though.
Which is that? Which one?
The Division 3.
Right. So yeah, that'd be the Tom Clancy titles. But they want them to focus on Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and the various Tom Clancy titles such as Splinter Cell, and I presume the Division is in that as well. But even the Division, you know, like it wasn't. It was well received, but I don't know. It just didn't seem to hold its popularity very well. Not that I remember. Not the Division 2 anyway. Division 1 was great, but the Division 2 seemed to be. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Did you like the Division 2?
I did, and I did actually still play it occasionally.
Right. Okay. Does there many people are playing it, or is it?
There's a few.
Yeah. Gotcha. Alright guys, apart from that, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section about Ubisoft. Personally, I was sort of wondering about buying stocks when the prices dropped a little bit more. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, let's jump on to Firewalk Studios and Concord. Concord. The trophy that people are now collecting. Firewalk Studios Concord turned transgender singer into the free gunner Baz. And they wonder why the game never went anywhere. A transgender singer whose name is Jamali Al-Turi, I'm mispronouncing that, don't care, confirmed that Firewalk Studios turned him into the free gunner Baz in Concord. According to the Pink News, Ardarian wrote on Instagram, I had to go for a walk because I just don't like it when PlayStation wants to turn me into a badass knife-wielding assassin in all the land. He added, that's right, yours truly, free gunner Baz in PlayStation's new multiplayer video game Concord. The Instagram appears to be edited since now, stating that it's just a badass with a gun, PlayStation, and love. But if you...
That's a knife, not a gun.
No, sorry. But if you look at the two photos, you can definitely see where they've got the inspiration from, right? You look at these two photos side by side, and you can definitely see where they've got it, where they've got the character models from. But in the game, the character has listed she, here pronouns, but has given the original post that Audrey, it is clear that Firewalk Studios made the character transgender. It is likely Firewalk Studios intends to make it explicit through the in-game cinematic vintages that it said that it would release weekly. Don't know if it's still going to be doing that. The company director of IP, Kim Currens, explained every character brings their own unique personality, skills, and wide-ranging perspectives to the crew. Well, they did before it got cancelled. She also detailed every week when you log on to Concord. That's not happening. You'll be welcomed with a new cinematic vintage that will give you a chance to see our characters off the job. Well, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime because, as you guys may have heard, Concord is done. PlayStation has pulled the plug on Concord, shuts down the game less than 2 weeks, and has offered a full refund. Firewalk Studios announced it shut down Concord servers and will no longer be selling the game less than 2 weeks after its release. Firewalk Studios game director Ryan Ellis announced that at this time we've decided to take the game offline beginning September the 6th, which was literally a few days ago, 4 days ago, or 5 days for me, and explore options, including those that will be better reaching our players. He also shared that the company will be offering a full refund while determined to be the best path ahead. Concord sales will cease immediately and will begin to offer a full refund for all games who have purchased the game for PlayStation 5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store and PC Station Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Now, the funny thing about this is that while it's now been announced it was being pulled offline, a lot of people started going out and buying it because it's now a trophy, and this is something that Ferrets and I were talking about before the show. It's now become a trophy of the Council War, the Council War, Culture War. It's now been a trophy of the Culture War. People are now actually going out, and you can actually go on eBay and actually buy copies of Concord for over $100 because of the fact of that. It's just like people just want to buy it because it's like, hey, we've won against this evil corporation. So it's definitely become a bit of a trophy, yeah. So let me go through and search here, Concord. So here's the video game here. So in Australia, $149, $199, $159, $219, and like these are like 11 people watching, 9 people watching. Like, these are actual people, like, watching these just to, like, for when it gets closer. Not bad, considering it was like $40 or $60 or whatever it was when it came out. So people are definitely making some money off it. But yeah, it's definitely become a bit of a sort of like a trophy for people to go through and watch and to purchase these copies, so they could literally set it up in their sort of display cabinet and be like, yes, we won against Concord. We've defeated the woke mob from one game. And I don't blame them for doing it. I think it's kind of funny that they're doing it. But like, some of these prices are absolutely nuts. Like $219 Australian for a copy of the PlayStation 5 edition of Concord. And like I say, there are 9 people watching it at the moment. Like, it's not like that one's watching this either. I don't know, Ferris, would you spend $219 to buy Concord?
No.
No, neither would I. But yeah, it's definitely interesting that people are going through and buying it and you know, putting it in a display cabinet as a trophy, which, to be honest, I thought about doing myself. The game was plagued with negative feedback from the onset, and many players are decrying the game for its ugly design and promotion of transgender ideology. Well, literally, one of the main characters is literally transgender, or based on transgender singer. In my opinion. Sweet Baby Ink Detective Steam creator Liz Kerbis Rubu noted that at the end of May, so the something robot has pronouns. If you actually go into the image, you actually see this. Like, this is not a joke. The robot has he, him pronouns.
That's not how robots work.
Oh, no wonder this game fucking failed. User has also mocked the oh my god, finally literally a playable tank. Oh wow. So it did not go well. Obviously they have pulled the pin on it. Now there are talks about them possibly going through and actually making the game free to play, and possibly re-releasing it as free to play. The problem with that though is that a lot of the game's setup actually goes against the free-to-play module from what we're hearing. So it's not exactly easy as just going through and just simply making the game free-to-play. A lot of the stuff in game is actually goes against that sort of narrative. But obviously, after Concord gets shut down, gamers have taken a shot at anti-capitalist game Fairgames. We will actually deal with that separately, because that is actually probably something we also probably should talk about. So let's cover that in a sec. Concord lead character designer John Wickney claims that the game's being shipped at all was a legendary after the game was shut down in less than 2 weeks. Nothing says I have faith in our work and the fact of, oh my god, it was a miracle that this game was even shipped. John Legacy, the lead character designer for Firewalk Studios Concord, claims that the game being shipped at all is legendary after the game was shut down in less than 2 weeks. Firewalk Studios game director Ryan Ellis announced at the beginning of September that Concord was getting shut down on September the 6th and that the company had ceased selling digital copies of the game. Furthermore, he revealed that the company would offer a full refund for players at the game. So, yeah. And finally on Concord, Firewalk Studios senior concept artist reveals employees are terrified of the future after Concord got shut down, so they should be. Firewalk Studios senior concept artist Amanda Kelkeffer allegedly revealed that employees at the company are terrified of the future after the company's first game, Concord, was shut down less than 2 weeks after it released. As reported initially by Smash JT, Kiefer wrote on X, I was going to DM you after seeing this, but this site makes me pay to do that, so at the risk of getting dogpiled, I'm just going to say this here. A lot of the affected of the art side of Concord, including designers by committee, failures of some of the leadership to listen to the art team, etc. She continued that the character concept art team, including myself, is going through an extremely difficult time emotionally, and some of the team are no longer want to work in games, design characters, or even do art anymore after this. Well, to be honest, if this is how you go through and do character design, I don't mind you not working in the games industry anymore. Hasta la vista, there's the door. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Because if you think this is character design, if you think these are decent characters, then see you later. Bye-bye. Don't come back. If these people... So, as I said many times, I'm doing some prototyping and making my own game. If these people came to me with these designs, I would look at them and say, you're fired. Get out of here. I don't know, Ferris, if you ran a game company and people came to you with these designs that are on the screen, what would be your reaction? Would you be like, oh yeah, that sounds great? Or would you be like, you're fired? Ferris?
Probably say you're fired.
Yeah, probably, right? Anybody would, right? Now, it does make you wonder. She does say that the lead designers or the managers didn't listen to the art team. It does make me wonder if they were the ones pushing all this diversity and the art team was pushing back. If that's the case, I change my stance. But if they're the ones sitting there pushing for this art style and the managers were like, hey, let's rein back on this, and they were the ones saying, they weren't listening to us, we should have made our characters more woke, then see you later, you're fired. It depends on what she means by them not listening to the art team. But I will say that also these tweets that she's saying here, this was all done on her Twitter account, which is protected, by the way. It was the reason that we know about these tweets is because one of the guys that actually follows her, or she follows him, actually leaked them to the internet. So, like if you actually go to a Twitter account, I believe, let me see, x.com, and it is Imagine Amanda. Here she is. So when you actually go to her Twitter account, this is actually what you see. These tweets are protected. So the only reason that these companies or that these tweets were leaked was the fact that people were following her, and it was literally one of her people that leaked it. So yeah, but considering the stuff that she's got for her artwork for like her banner, I would say that she probably, I don't know. I don't know which way she went. Like she says that yeah. She says they didn't listen to her. It does make you wonder which way they would have gone. But I'll give her a follow and I'll see if she actually goes through and accepts it. All right. Apart from that, anything else we want to add about this before we jump on, Ferrets?
I wish I had $1 to freaking get that to the game when I had the freaking chance.
Yeah, I must admit I do regret not buying it myself, but I was been a bit distracted this week, and it did cross my mind, and it was sort of like one of those thoughts at like 2 a.m. when you're sort of like sitting up and you're like, I should go and buy Concord while I still can, just so I can put it in my display cabinet. But then, I'll be putting it next to my freaking Halo statue or my Titanfall statue, and I don't know if I'd want to put it next to that. It might rub off on it.
Yeah, true.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding this. At the end of the day, as for the concept artist for Firewalk, please obviously don't go messaging her, don't go harassing her, blah blah blah. But it does make you wonder which sort of way she does lean, because she does say that they weren't listening to what the art team had to say. It does make you wonder. All right, let's talk about Fairgames and the anti-capitalist game. So we have spoken a little bit about this. Let me go through and we'll put the trailer on the screen. We'll mute it because obviously copyright. But switch. Right. So there's a new game coming out called Fairgame. And it's pretty much as bad as everybody suspects it's going to be. The whole idea is you go through and you, quote, steal from the rich. AOC would be so proud. But basically what you do is you go through and you log into the game and you do heist missions. And what you do is you basically are stealing a whole bunch of money from the rich to basically fund yourselves. So you go through, you pick a target, and then you go through and basically steal money from them. Now, obviously, this is sort of a play on the old Robin Hood days where, you used to steal from the rich and give to the poor. Well, we don't do that. In this game, we just steal from the rich to fund ourselves. Look, I'm not saying the game's going to fail. I definitely think there was interesting mechanics here when it comes to like heist missions and stuff. I do think that the woke angle of this game will probably go against it. But I definitely think it's interesting the fact that you can have these heist missions and stuff like that. I just wish they didn't make it so woke. But it's sort of like a mini watchdog sort of thing, right? Where you're basically going through and hacking people and trying to get revenge and blah blah blah. Well, in this one, you're just basically going through and doing missions and basically trying to steal from the rich. Well, you've got other teams that are also probably going through and also stealing the same prize. So you're basically competing against other teams. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Ferrets? What are your thoughts on the idea of this game?
Not my cup of tea.
Look, it's definitely interesting. But like I say, I'm pissed about the fact that they're making it woke. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Would you play a heist game if it's not woke? Do you like the concept apart from the woke thing that's on it, or what are your thoughts, first?
No.
Yeah, not really keen on the heist things.
No.
Anyway, like I say, I don't think it's going to. I don't know if it's going to fail, but it's definitely got an uphill battle because of the whole woke agenda that it's going to play. But it's interesting concepts, but we'll see. But yeah, at the end of the day, obviously the gamers have taken aim in it. In the wake of Firewalk Studios and PlayStation shutting down Concord, just after 2 weeks, gamers are already seeing their sights on the boycotting the anti-capitalist game Fairgames from Haven Studios. Now, the irony of this situation is that this is one of PlayStation's bankrolls. So you're playing a game where you steal from the rich to fund yourself by giving money to the rich to play their game. Do you see the problem here? Yeah. You see how this might be a little bit contradictory? You know, like, hey, we're going to go and play a game, we're going to steal from the rich. Let me just go and give PlayStation another $40 or $60. Who's the rich? So play their game where I can go out and make out that I'm stealing from the rich. Oh, okay, interesting. Haven Studios, a subsidiary of PlayStation Studios and Sony Interactive Entertainment, announced the game with the CIG trailer back in May 2023. As you can see below, the trailer features voiceovers that states too much money and too much power held by just a few people. So they're trying to become one of the rich and powerful by stealing from them. And it's getting worse. So we decided to do something about it. And it features a team robbing tractor trailers, warehouses, penthouses, and more. So here's the thing, right? Here's the problem with their logic. Is that they're claiming that there's too many people or too few people that have all the money and have all the power. So we're doing something about it. They literally say that. Too much money held by too much power held by just a few people, right? And we're going to do something about it. So what do? They want to become the people that they're going to rich from. They're going to rob from. Where to fix this problem, ideally, you would be giving the money to the poor to sort of bump up the lower class and to make more people into the rich. They're not doing that. They're funding themselves because they want to become the rich in this situation. Do you see the irony of this whole situation? Like, hey, there's too many people that are rich and have too much power. So we're going to go through and we're going to knock them down a peg by becoming them. Interesting. So at the end of the day, it's not about actually knocking them down a peg or benefiting society. It's just about benefiting you. The official description attached to the trailer states, "Welcome to Fairgame, your chance to rob the rich and rebalance the scales by funding yourself." Fairgames is a competitive modern heist game where you team up and break into exotic locations and steal cargo. The twist, you not only need to outsmart guards and security systems, but you also compete against other teams. It includes crews that extract the most loot and flair might rise to the top of Fairgames. So like I say, you're not going through and you're not giving this wealth to anybody else. You're not going through and you're not helping anybody else achieve these levels that you were supposedly want to get to. You're doing it to fund yourself. It includes cruiser, blah, 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 blah. Take it, or till you make it, or who will recruit you first, or who will you recruit first for your crew. So like I say, it's literally the fact that they're like, oh my god, too many people have too much money, too much power, so we're going to go through and rebalance the scales by becoming the people that we hate. Interesting approach. Any thoughts on that, folks?
I want to get rich too, man.
But you get my point though, right? Is at the end of the day, like, if you wanted to go through and fix the situation, easy way to fix it is that you do what Robin Hood does, is that you give the money to the poor. Because that way everybody gets balanced up. Everybody gets bolstered up, right? But in this game, they're not doing that. They're making the money for themselves. So, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you think it's going to be successful? Do you think it's going to fail? What are your thoughts? Predictions?
It might become a little popular, and then they'll fall off again, and yeah.
Yeah, this is what I sort of suspect with this. I don't think it's going to outright fail, but I don't think it's going to be like this massive, great big success. I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to be like low to mid. And then at the end of it, it's probably going to have a few weeks where it's like, like semi-popular. And then at the end of it, it's probably going to just fall off. Like Watch Dogs did. Watch Dogs 2. But anyway. Anything else you want to add on to Fair Games before we jump on?
No, not at the moment.
Right, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section regarding Fair Games. Do you think at the end of the day it's going to be successful? Do you think it's going to fail? Let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, let's jump on to the next thing, which is Rockstar Games is set to delay Grand Theft Auto 6 to middle of 2026. Now, this is a rumor. Right, obviously nothing's been confirmed yet, but I think its initial release was supposed to be, wasn't it supposed to be like early 2026?
I thought it was supposed to be like around
2025.
2025.
Yeah, sorry, 2025, sorry. So it looks like it's going to be put back like almost to the next year. The middle of the next year. Which would make sense, like it is this massive, great big open world. Obviously, at the end of the day, you know, they don't want to sort of scrimp and save. It does sort of have a bit of a legacy when it comes to its player base. But at the end of the day, you know, like, I don't know, what are your thoughts? Do you think, would you be okay with are you looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6?
Not really, no.
Do you play much Grand Theft Auto though?
No.
So, a new rumour claims that Rockstar Games, as parent company Take-Two Interactive, have delayed the release of Grand Theft Auto 6 to middle of 2026. The ex-user, Bills whatever, states exclusive GTA 6 has been initially delayed by Rockstar Games, and they're already deciding on early to mid 2026 release window. The PC is planned for around the 12 to 18 months after the console launch, he added. This information comes as multiple devs across 2 studios. So he's claiming he's got sources inside the industry. He did share a follow-up. Look, if I've ever been foul played, and if I've been foul played here, and it's a big if, I apologise. You know, I wouldn't tweet anything unless I was very confident. He's starting to walk it back a little bit, which does make you wonder. But interesting, he's previously questioned the vicinity of the rumour, claiming the game was going to be delayed back in May. He wrote on X, my take on this is how GTA 6 exactly has been delayed. Bloomberg's Jason Schroeder has previously worked on Kotaku, indicated he spoke to 6 Rockstar employees, and they informed him the game has not been delayed. So it does seem to be a little bit of a he says, she says sort of thing. Schroeder wrote on X, the internet and my DMs blew up this weekend over a rumour that Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed. Good news is that Rockstar employees, or 6 Rockstar employees, have told me they have not heard any of delay. Bad news is that it's big, ambitious game and very well could slip. So even Schreider is sort of walking it back a bit, saying, well, I haven't heard anything, but it is a massive game, so it could slip. He added in a subsequent post, I wanted to be very clear. 6 staff told me that they weren't informed of a delay. For all I know, Rockstar's executive team could have decided months ago to delay Grand Theft Auto 6 without telling them, but the lack of internal announcement suggests that the rumour was nonsense. I would say, look, at the end of the day, so they did say that, where is it? Grand Theft Auto 6, PlayStation, fall of the calendar of 2025 is the original date. So, what is your fall month? Is that December?
No. December is actually winter. Fall is like around the ending of September, October, November, and then like after that, December through March and April is winter.
Right, yeah. So, I don't know, like 2025, it depends on the game's state, but obviously there's a trailer for it, so there's somewhat been working on it, but 2025 is what, less than a year away? It's a little bit, seems a bit rushed. I would say that the rumours are probably true about it being delayed or possibly being delayed. But I'd say it definitely does seem like it is going to be a bit, it does look like it's going to slip. And he did say early to mid 2026. So,
yeah.
It might be like a March thing or an April thing. But we'll just have to see. Anything on this before we jump on to the next topic?
No, I'm not a huge GTA fan either, so...
Yeah. Guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on GTA 6? Are you okay with it being delayed? Or do you think at the end of the day that it should just come out and possibly not being complete? Or do you think it's not going to slip at all and it's going to be ready? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Right. Let's jump on. Smash JT threatens legal action after Forspoken consultants Black Girl Gamers copyright strikes his YouTube channel. So Black Girl Gamers, the video game consultancy outfit run by Jan and Lopez, issued a copyright strike against YouTuber and critic Smash JT. In a post to his website, Smash JT said Black Girl Gamers BGG has decided to abuse YouTube's flawed copyright system to silence dissenting voices, specifically in this case, my own. He shared that the screenshot of the copyright strike against his channel. The strike was issued on Smash JT and the video titled Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Belair declares war on gamers and covers a video featuring the commentary from Jan and Lopez, Kim Belair, and the Verge staff writer Ash Parrish. So this is the video where like the three of them were in like this closed door meeting that obviously got leaked. I believe it was leaked, where they're basically going on and having basically a win session and a victim like ideology sort of. I'm more of a victim than you, because at the end of the day it's like this closed this internet sort of meeting where like the three of them all sat around pretending to be victims and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Smash JT later added that BGG's actions are not just incorp and inappropriate, they calculate effort to control the narrative by attacking content creators and scaring them from talking about those who challenge their perspectives, striking down a very popular viral video, nearly 200,000 views, already in a couple of days, that offered a critical viewpoint is beyond disparate move. One shows they're more interested in silence opposition than engaging in any meaningful discussion. Legal action is very expensive. And at the end of the day, it definitely does depend on the person that you're suing and whether they've got anything to take. I had a lawyer that I was speaking to just recently, and we were basically discussing like legal action and whether it's worthwhile and blah blah blah. In a more sort of general setting, I'm not suing anybody at the moment. But yeah, at the end of the day, he was sort of saying that it really does depend on the person that you're suing, whether they've got anything, as to whether it's viable to go through and to sue someone. Look, at the end of the day, I like Smash JT. Hopefully he does get this video removed or this copyright strike removed, because it can affect his channel, as well as the fact that it is also affecting his earnings and videos. And at the end of the day, if he's gone through and provided content on that video, this is sort of like a similar to an Sagan of a Card video where he went through and claimed it was transformative, which I've seen JT's video. It was definitely transformative in my opinion. So at the end of the day, if he does sue, I think he will have grounds, but it does depend on whether YouTube is going to allow this or if they're going to sort of remove the strike. Sometimes just raising awareness on this stuff is enough to sort of get them to reconsider. Anything you want to add on this, Ferrets? People shutting
No,
down?
I don't.
No.
No.
Alright guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Obviously with JT, good luck man if you do so. You'll obviously, in my opinion, will probably win. And you probably do have a case against them. But yeah, obviously, like I say, at the end of the day, it definitely does cost money to do this. So it depends on whether he's going to outlay the money and possibly get it back with like lawyer fees or what. But yeah, it does depend. All right, Haven 17 frontman Martin War reveals he's rejected. Reveals he's rejected Rockstar Games' $7,500 offer to buy out the band's Temptation song for Grand Theft Auto 6. This probably should have been put in with the Grand Theft Auto, but I missed it. But at the end of the day, obviously, not a lot here. It's just his song Temptation. I don't know it. I'd have to Google it. But we could probably do that very quickly. Just play a couple of seconds of it.
I tried to understand.
So I don't know if I really like the song, but it's an oldie. It's definitely an old school song. It is seeing a lot of people comment on it lately, and probably getting a lot more views lately because of this controversy. Or not really controversy, but just the fact that he's just like, yeah, they did try and buy the song, but I've rejected it. But yeah, it's $7,500, which I don't know.
Interesting.
What's that?
One of the people that I am following on Twitch is live streaming Atlas.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I say, it is $7,500, which, as my understanding, is not bad for a song, especially an old one. But yeah, I don't know. I've got all this ahead of me yet because I sort of have to talk to people about music and stuff. But let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, I suppose. Genshin Impact and Fire Emblem Heroes voice actor Chelsea Rebecca melts down after YouTube rejects cancel campaign against Nerderotic Gamers, Geeks and Gamers, and Ryan Kimmel from Arcade Outpost. So Chelsea Rebecca, a voice actress for Genshin Impact and Fire Emblem's Heroes, as well as the co-host of the YouTube channel Dead Meat, melted down after YouTube rejected the apparent organization cancel campaign against Gary Belcher, aka Nerderotic, Jeremy Geeks, which is aka Geeks and Gamers, and Ryan Kimmel from Arcade Outpost. Numerous Disney Star Wars fans attempted to get the three affirmative individuals and their channels demonetized on YouTube, as well as an example. Molly Demon posted on X, I've spoken at length about this in the past, but the only way things get better is if Team YouTube does something to discourage this kind of content. Until then, it will only get worse. Meaning, by the way, that they're losing the cancel war.
So my question is, what the content is she talking about?
So she's talking about the fact that like Gary Belcher, Nerderotic, Geeks and Gamers and stuff were very vocal against things like, for example, the Acolyte.
Okay.
And they were sort of the, as well as Star Wars Theory, who, by the way, was also mentioned in that tweet too. But they were also like very vocal and like exposing the Acolyte for how bad it really, really was. And
It kind of was pretty bad.
to be honest, that's the thing, right? Is at the end of the day, if people are talking about how bad your game or your movie or your TV show is, then at the end of the day, maybe stop blaming the messenger and actually talk about like how to fix your TV show, movie, game. Now, it does make you wonder, right? Like, this chick is literally like a voice actor for like Genshin Impact. And my understanding is Genshin Impact has a pretty good base when it comes...
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty popular game.
Yeah, to like the non-woke mob. So, I don't know if this is going to impact Genshin Impact, or if they're going to replace her, or if they're going to tell her to pipe down. But at the end of the day, like this is something that could definitely impact on Genshin Impact, and no pun intended. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you reckon?
But I really don't care that they're getting upset.
You don't care that they're getting upset over neurotic and stuff? Or you don't care that...
I don't care that the people who want to get out the people cancelled are getting upset that things aren't going their way.
And look, Gary has... Neurotic, I should just use the channel name. Neurotic has came out and said that at the end of the day that he doesn't believe that he can sway the vast majority of people against your game or your TV show unless there's some truth to it, right? So it's not like, for example, if Neurotic was telling everybody that the sky is brown and it's not blue, to be honest, people will generally disagree with him, and that would be the end of it. You can't sit there and blame the messenger because the fact that they had certain points that seem to be valid. So at the end of the day, if you're upset with people pointing out your flaws in your show, and trust me, the flaws in Star Wars in Acolyte were pretty bad. Fires in space for a start. Then at the end of the day, you can't necessarily blame Gary for that. They're just the messenger. Maybe you want to talk to Disney about going through and making a better TV show. Instead of blaming Gary and Neurotic, maybe go through and actually just make a better show is probably what I'm getting from all this. But, like I say, it's interesting that, like, this chick who's known for this game or this Genshin Impact, is it a game or a show?
It's a game.
It's a game, yeah. Would go through and sort of, like, step on a landmine because, like, well... I'm guessing Genshin Impact. I haven't seen the game. I haven't played it. I'm guessing it's probably Asian based. Is it sort of like a bit like an anime?
Yeah.
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 And they're typically not woke. I was just speaking to someone, not mentioning names, who actually works in the games industry. He's from a certain Asian country, and he was talking about how he hates the politics in the gaming industry. And how he actually left the gaming industry because of the politics. So, it's definitely interesting. But the Asian cultures generally don't put up with this shit. And she's definitely possibly standing on a landmine here because, like you might get yourself replaced from your own show here or your own game here. But I don't know. I really don't have a problem with Nerderotic, Geeks or Gamers, and Arcade Outpost and Star Wars Theory Sabers actually going through it and actually talking about how bad the Acolyte was, because if they didn't have a point, people wouldn't listen to them, is my sort of general thing. Anything you want to add on to that before we jump on?
Haters are gonna hate?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's true too. But obviously, at the end of the day, when it comes to Genshin, obviously we also have this. Increase revenue is up 6% in spite of active boycott against the game and developer. So the revenue for Genshin Impact has increased over 6% in August compared to July, despite the active boycott. The boycott of Genshin Impact was launched back in July with a petition titled "Stop Cultural Appropriation and Whitewashing in the Magio whatever games." The petition states that we call on Magio, whatever it is, to stop cultural appropriation and whitewashing in their games, and committed to respectfully and culturally representing of all cultures. It continues that the leading game developer in a company has repeatedly taken inspiration from indigenous cultures without proper representation and respect. In particular, many characters from the Samuru and Nauru in Genshin Impact and from Palanica and are clearly white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception of some of the NPCs. So it seems like the whole bunch of lefties are upset over Genshin Impact, and subsequently the game has increased by 8% in sales. Sometimes a boycott is good for your game, I suppose. I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, but not all the times.
I would say that the people leading this are probably like the lefties, the far lefties. And generally when it comes to boycotts and stuff, they generally don't have anywhere. It does have over 100,009 signatures. But at the end of the day, it's, doesn't seem to be doing very well. The boycott appears to completely fail in the months of July as revenue has increased 10% across the 3 major titles. In comparison, it grossed 163 million in June from just Genshin Impact and Honko Star Rail, and that's an 8.8% increase in revenue from month to month. So the boycott doesn't seem to be doing too well. Anything else on Genshin before we sort of jump on to the next title?
No.
I can see why the game's popular. The girls are a little bit young for my liking, but they're definitely not afraid to show some skirt.
There are some older characters in there that you will definitely like, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
You should go look up a character called Lisa. You will definitely like Lisa.
Lisa, right? Let me have a quick look. Is this going to be safe for... Lisa?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, let me get the name right. Lisa, Genshin Impact. Images. Little blonde thing with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's alright, yeah. She's wearing a corset. Alright. Alright guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What's your favourite character from Genshin Impact if you do play? What are your thoughts on the boycott? Personally, I'm kind of digging this chick that's got the axes and the outfit. I think that's a chick. But
yes.
She kind of looks a bit hot. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2!
For the Empire.
For the Empire! This is probably...
the Emperor, not the Empire.
Well, that's true too, yeah, sorry.
The heresy with you.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay? I'm not a very good Space Marine. Single player campaign estimated to be only 6 to 10 hours. Report indicates that the immediate single player campaign length of Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 is only between 6 to 10 hours. So Brendan Morgan of Insider Gamer claims it approximately takes 8 to 10 hours to finish the campaign in Space Marine 2 on a standard difficulty setting. I would say probably BS. So I have a major trust issue when it comes to anyone that's in the mainstream games journalist. YouTuber Force Gaming shared it took him under 6, actually 5 hours and 46, but he's probably speedrunning it a bit, to be exact, and he weren't burning through it. I would say he probably was a little bit. And we're playing at slightly regular pace. We cleared every single enemy that spawned. We didn't blitz by anything. We explored all the side areas, looking for collectibles. But then I've seen people like Asmongold play it for like 6 hours already. But although Asmon's not exactly really good at video gaming, no offense, Asmon. While playing a single-player game short, the Force Game noted that the bulk of the game's content comes in the form of co-op operations. He explained operations that are these 3 handcrafted missions where you play as one of 6 distinct classes with up to 2 other real players moving through the level that act as side stories to the main campaign. So there is more to do. It's sort of like a co-op sort of thing. Have you played Space Marines 2?
No, I don't have money for it right now.
Right.
I'm broke.
You're broke. Would it be something you would...
As every American... What?
Is it something that you might be interested in if you weren't broke?
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. Look, I must admit, it definitely seems interesting. I have had a few friends on Xbox play it. One of the guys I know, Sammy, was actually playing it the other day, actually. But like I say, at the moment, I'm too busy with everything else at the moment. It does look beautiful, though. The graphics look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen Asmund was playing it. Sammy was playing it. A few other people I've seen playing it. But obviously, Warhammer introduces a new female adoptees custodies. Warhammer into 40k, and the asserts custodies can be any gender. Are you surprised I got it right?
At this point, no.
Oh, fuck you. So at the end of the day, because I got the names right, I'm pretty sure. Games Workshop announced that they introduced a new female adopters custodies in Warhammer 40k as a part of its thesis animated series. So the example I was using for ferrets earlier today was it's a bit like you going up to a prostitute and you say, how much for the night or for the hour or for the half an hour? You've got the price, but you haven't barebacked her yet. And that's pretty much what they're sort of, when it comes to Warhammer 40k and their sort of approach to the woke. They've sort of bent the knee a little bit. They've sort of gone up to the prostitute. They've asked how much, but they really haven't gone through and committed to it just yet. Right? Which is good. Which is why it's so important for people to push back against it. But on the official Warhammer community website, Games Workshop revealed that the Theron Shiva Curis, the first of 3 long-listed heroic names, earned fighting for the Emperor, has a privilege of being our first portrayal of a female custody guard since the recent revelation that custodies can be any gender. Now, my understanding was that they literally had to retcon their history to accept this. Was that be accurate?
Well, yeah, I mean, originally the Astartes were like all men.
Yeah. And they've had to retcon that to put the females in. The fact that this came as a real surprise to many, since it wasn't something previously explored, that in itself isn't particularly unusual thing for Warhammer 40k and its lore. So they're basically turning around saying, well, we never really talked about this in the past, but it's not like it's unusual for us not to talk about something for the past, 10 years, because that way when we need to retcon stuff, we can. Yeah, sure. This has absolutely nothing to do with Amazon looking at making the new Warhammer game, the new Warhammer TV show, I'm sure of it. So there are a simple load of things that Warhammer Studios has never expressly stated, whether that's ruling them out or not. Sounds like bullshit to me. From there, Warhammer continued to justify its massive retcon and gaslighting as enthusiasts and hobbyists since the earliest conversations about bringing the heresy to the tabletop and Black Library function. The extract nature of the custodies has been under discussion. After all, the origins and means of creation, unlike, for example, the legendary Adeptus Astartes that are shrouded in mystery. Sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like they've had to retcon their history to basically put these women in. But obviously at the end of the day, the Warhammer hobbyists mock Games Workshop for scrapping their lore and making a female Adeptus Custodes. So the numerous Warhammer hobbyists have taken to mocking the Games Workshop for scrapping its Warhammer 40k lore, making female Adeptus Custodes, and claiming they've always existed. The Games Workshop introduced a female Adeptus Custodes in the recent Codex Adeptus Custodes with an exception stating Custodes stood upon the bridge of a Cobra-class destroyer named Vigilant Flame. The warship belonged to the mighty Battlefleet Solar. She lingered in the shadows at the back of the bridge, positioned at the spot where she could observe the actions of every crew member, be they in the instrumental pits, at the armament shrines, or in the case of Shipmaster Lothric, stood ramrod straight before his command throne. So, sounds like they're retconning history, and sounds like the hobbyists are not very good, or not very happy, and the Warhammer has a massive hobby base. And if you're starting to piss some of them off, this is not going to go well for you. I don't know, what are your thoughts, Fritz? Do you reckon they're retconning things to be more DEI inclusive or to be more woke? Or do you reckon this was always part of their plan?
mean, no, I think it's kind of a bit of the first option.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the hobbyists and the community? Do you think they're going to accept this, or do you think they're going to be pissed off, or what do you think is going to happen to Games Workshop?
They're a bit upset over it.
Yeah. But are we talking like a bit upset, like boycotting, or just like, like, oh, how dare you, but we're still going to support you by spending all this money? Because my understanding, these hobbies aren't cheap. These Warhammer collections can get pretty expensive.
I think they're probably still going to keep doing it. They're probably going to still keep doing it anyways, but they're going to be like a bit upset over it, but not like upset enough to where they will leave.
What do you think of what Games Workshop? Do you think they're going to go through and do you think they're going to stop doing this woke shit, or do you think this is just the start of it? What are your thoughts?
It's always just the beginning. There will be more.
Yeah, it does make me wonder if this is sort of like the opening salvos of a vanguard, so to speak. Right? How much more will they get away with this before people get really, really upset with this sort of thing? But anyway, like I said, guys, the only way that you stop this is by boycotting or by threatening. Not obviously staff members, don't do that, but like threatening to stop buying their stuff. Look, at the end of the day, if you don't support them, they can't go through and they can't do their stuff. So it's like Concord. The best thing about that game was the fact that the people didn't buy it. But let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below, especially if you're a hobbyist. Let us know what your thoughts are on this comment. I'd like to hear it. Apart from that, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Warner Brothers Discovery CFO says one of the company's biggest priorities is a Hogwarts Legacy successor. Oh boy. Warner Brothers Discovery CFO has recently revealed that one of the company's biggest priorities is Hogwarts Legacy successor. During an apprentice at the Bank of America's 2024 Media Communications and Entertainment Conference, Variety reported that that Wilfins said obviously a successor to Hogwarts Legacy is one of the biggest priorities in a couple of years down the road. It's probably going to be more than that. It's probably going to be about 3 or 4 years out. The game was a massive success for Warner Bros., Discovery selling over 22 million copies in just 2023 alone. The beginning of January, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment President David Haddad praised, but it's not just the units sold that I'm proud of, it's also the delight of fans of so much. Now, as you guys may be aware, this was the game that was very, very heavily boycotted by the people online, or by the lefties online. This was the game that they went through and tried to cancel anybody that was playing it. They went through and tried to lead a boycott, basically going through and trying to shut down people from playing this game. What are your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy? I know this is mostly relating to J.K. Rowling. What are your thoughts on the Hogwarts Legacy situation, Ferris?
I mean, I liked the movies, but I wasn't really a huge fan of the games.
Did you get a chance to play the game, or?
No, but I know some. I know some people who did play the actual game, and they said that it was pretty good. Actually, I
heard that. I heard it was pretty good.
It's just not sort of my genre that I like.
Right. Yeah, I heard it was pretty good itself, actually. This does make you wonder. Like, I know there were pretty active boycotts trying to happen because of whole J.K. Rowling and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see that Warner Brothers is literally turning around saying, well, we don't care about your outrage. We sold 22 million copies of the game, so suck a dick. We're going to make a sequel. Basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, that is definitely interesting. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, from everything I heard, the game was pretty good. I know a lot of people brought it and played it just because they were trying to piss off the lefties. So that definitely seems to have happened as well. But, you know, like I did say, it sold 22 million copies. That's no chump change. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway... I haven't played it. I did think about getting it and playing it just to stream it, just to piss people off. But yeah. Never really got around to it, I suppose. But anything you want to add on Hogwarts Legacy before we jump over?
No? Nope.
Alright. I've lost my little tab. Where are we? Up to there. Alright, so Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Blair continues to play victim and attempts to deny her company goal is to workify games. Well, if that's the case, I believe there was 10 pages of notes they went through and they suggested for Spider-Man or for one of the games they just recently did. Let's see them. Let's see the notes. If your attempt is not to workify games, if your attempt is to go through and to actually just go through and make games better and not put a whole bunch of woke crap in them, then the vast majority of those comments in that list should be not about, you know, woke stuff like transgender or anything like that, right? So if you are claiming that you're not attempting to workify games, let's basically see it. Let's see the list. Let's see the proof in the pudding. I'm guessing you won't, because it's probably not. It's probably definitely you're trying to workify games. Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Blair continued to trout the victim card while also attempting to deny that her company and end goal is to workify and take over the video games industry. So Kim Blair said, I think of us as almost as a patient zero for the wave of Gamergate. Sure. When I think of what it was when it started, or kind of the week that we had announced that we were on both Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2, which are two, I think, popular games among the gamer community and players in general. She continued, immediately I think the targeting began with this kind of like, we found this secret sinister website from Sweet Baby Inc. Meanwhile, we're on Twitter like just so excited to let people know that we worked on these two really great games. Yeah, okay, so her argument is that we weren't exactly hiding because we were on Twitter telling everybody that we're involved. Yeah, but if you've only got 500 to 1,000 people following you, or whatever it may be, or even 5,000 people following you on Twitter, chances are a lot of your tweets aren't going to get seen. And they're probably not going to get seen by the guys that are actually in the gaming industry. I imagine a lot of the people that follow her are probably game devs or game dev studios. So just because you're on Twitter announcing the fact that you're involved with these games doesn't mean people haven't found this secret organisation that's attempt to workify games, because at the end of the day, your whole argument is just, well, we were on Twitter the whole time, so how could you have not known? Well, because Twitter's such a big place. There's literally almost everybody in the planet is on Twitter, right? Or at least a good portion of them. So, at the end of the day, you think of how many Twitter accounts there are. Not every Twitter account is followed by everybody that's even in the same sphere. So just because people are following you doesn't mean they're going to know what you write. Is basically my point. But anyway, moving along. The assumption was we essentially made that our work had not been on the story or narrative, character related. So the assumption was essentially made that our work had not been on story or narrative or character. It had been on making a black character exist in Alan 2, and it put pride flags in Spider-Man 2. So if your work wasn't that, show us the complete list of all of the notes that you sent through to the game devs on Spider-Man and Alan 2.
Impossible.
They won't do it. Because if they do that, they're going to be found out. They know this is what they literally... I guarantee you there were references in those 10 pages of notes to a whole bunch of diversity into EI. Guarantee it. I'll put money on it. And the assumption was essentially blah, 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 blah. She continues, as a company, we worked on over 80 games together, so there were plenty of fodder for people to start. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Victim, victim, victim. Blah, blah, blah. Victim, victim, blah, blah, blah. However, Blade made it abundantly clear that her entire goal and a company goal was to workify games back in 2019. During the Game Developers Conference, or CDC, she said, none of what we're doing is about ticking boxes or about a veneer of wokeness. We actually have to care about making this stuff. So, hey, we don't workify games back in 2019. We're workifying games. Interesting, eh? But, yeah. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this whole Sweet Baby Inc? I do worry that they are sort of the boogeyman when it comes to the games industry, and that there are other companies that are probably slipping through the cracks that are probably doing the similar thing. I'd hate to think that everybody's just focusing on Sweet Baby Inc. when there's probably more companies that are doing it. But what are your thoughts on this industry or these consultancy firms for these games industries?
They all need to just go and find new jobs in streets, sanitations.
They've got a new job. Their job is to go through and make your game as work as possible.
I don't like that job. I need them to go out and gather my trash.
Yeah. Well, they won't do that because that actually would, they would have to actually work. So good luck with that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I would say it's definitely interesting that the fact that, like, even just from a numbers point of view, you look at how many games they've worked on. They said over 80 games, and the vast majority of them have some sort of work agenda directed into them. It's definitely interesting, but I do have an idea of something I want to do in the future, but I'll tell you that when we're not online. Anything else we want to add about Sweet Baby Inc. and all this sort of stuff before we jump on? Or?
No, not at this time.
Alan Wake 2 failed to turn a profit. Game senior community manager calls for bigots to be removed from the gaming communities. Well, apparently there's a lot of them, so you're not going to have much of a community left. So the senior community manager and Remedy Entertainment called for bigots to be removed from the gaming communities in the wake of Firewalk Studios Concord being boycotted and shut down due to low sales. I would say at the end of the day this is our community, and bigots and whatnot are more than welcome. Mainly because what you class as a bigot is pretty much no one. Like, this is the same people that would class me as a bigot or a racist, when literally, well, first that's my dating preference. Literally almost every girl I've dated over the past 15 years has been Asian. I literally saw a white girl the other day and turned around and said to my mate, too bad she's not Asian. So, yeah, so if we're going on and thinking that I'm a bigot or a racist, I would say you probably find that your definition of a bigot or racist is pretty liberal. Nikio Partners director and research Daniel Adamiri initially reacted to the game being shut down. The comments around Concord from the far right-wing gamers shows the power of the collective self-deception. If you say delusional stuff about DEI enough times and build a conspiracy-focused narrative, they start seeing that false narrative everywhere. I guess we have to live with this now. Okay, fine. Same thing for you. Release the notes that Sweet Baby Inc. made about Alan Wake 2 when they went to your studio. If this is not about DEI, if this is not about you going through and claiming that you're trying to force this DEI industry into this games industry, release all of the notes, not some, all of the notes that Alan Wake 2 has regarding what was made by Sweet Baby Inc. I guarantee you the vast majority of it will be DEI crap. So when you sit there and you say that, you're self-deluding or self-deception about this sort of stuff, are they really? Are they really self-decepting themselves or self-deception when it's actually probably something that's true? And it's easy to prove if it's self-deception or not. Release the notes. Let's see the notes on Alan Wake 2 made by Sweet Baby Inc. Let's see all of them. Let's put them all out. Upload them to Twitter. I'm sure Elon Musk will help you with this. I guarantee you the vast majority of it will be DEI crap. My cat's a retard. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to comment on this before I go and find out what the hell my cat is doing?
No, I'm pretty sure your cat might be plotting world domination.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Let us know what your thoughts on Alan Wake 2 and why it failed, or about this DEI stuff and Sweet Baby Inc. Do you really think it's as bad as what people like me and geeks and gamers and all that say? Or do you think there's actually some legitimate to it? And like I say, if it is as bad as, if it's not as bad as people like me say, and this DEI crap says, release the notes. It's rather simple. But let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, so let's jump on to the next topic. We're getting towards the end of it. Gamers react to Quantic Dream's virtual signal over Dustborn by announcing a boycott. So numerous gamers have indicated that they are boycotting anything Quantum Dream produces or publishes following the company's virtual signal, following the complete and utter commercial failure of the Red Thread games Dustborn. So in the wake of Dustborn's failing to surpass peak current players of 100 and developer Red Thread Games getting pwned for its push for woke ideology, and even encountering bullying and cancel culture, the Red Thread Games claimed it was a victim of a tidal wave of hate and abuse. It posted to X, "Since we first announced Dustborn, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes and wishes for the games. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that is deeply meaningful to us, a story about power of words about bullying, a world where anyone can feel safe, about love, friendship, robots, and of course. Now, be warned, this is the game where I believe, is this the game where you have the bullying? No, maybe I'm pretty sure that's Dustborn. Where you go through and you have these perks or these skills where you actually learn how to bully people. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Hang on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. This is the one where you go through and you have the power-ups, and one of them is actually bullying. Let me see if I can put on the screen again. We have talked about this in the past, but that's interesting. If you type in Dustborn bullying, it doesn't come up. Here it is here. So we'll put that. Sorry, we'll put that there and that. So here you have the power of Discord, the power of bully, the power of cancel, and the power of normalize. These are the power-ups that you get from Dustborn. So your character can literally go through and normalize, bully, cancel someone, and also Discord. And this is actually from the game itself. These are the perks. These are the power-ups that you get. So when they sit there and they say things like, for example, we don't have any kind of zero tolerance. We have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. It's like, well, your game literally advocates for this. Now, obviously, don't threaten devs, guys. Don't do it. But it's like, but at the end of the day, you've literally put your game with these power-ups. So, yeah. But Quantic Dream, the publisher of Dustborn, echoes Red Thread Games' post writing on X. We want to express our heartfelt support for our partners at Red Thread Games. We stand united against hate in all forms and are committed to fostering communities built on understanding and respect, which is why we've advocated and published a game that literally advocates for you to do this to people. Because we're hypocrites. But, So, but now people are obviously going through, claiming that these games from this Red Thread or from this Quantic Dream should be boycotted in general. I'm not sure what games Quantic Dream actually publishes. I haven't heard of them before. It's not like they're a Bethesda or anything like that, but game studio. So Quantic Dream was founded in 1997. The games they've put out is Nomad Soul, Fahrenheit, Rain, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Becoming Human, and then Star Wars Eclipse, which is apparently to be announced. But it's also under the games they've also put out as Dustborn, the Time Shift Warrior, Under the Waves, and Sea of Solitude. So, a whole bunch of games you might have heard of. Not. But at the end of the day, obviously the big thing is the Star Wars Eclipse is also put out by Quantic Dream, and that is going to be interesting whether that is actually going to get some of the blowback because of this sort of stuff. But yeah. I know. What are your thoughts on this boycott?
Yeah.
You reckon I'll do anything?
You know, maybe, maybe not. Like I've seen the boycotts actually work, and some boycotts don't work. So.
Bud Light, for example.
Huh?
Bud Light, for example. The boycott on Bud Light worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, guys. Apart from that, we'll move on. So. Oh boy. So IGN has come out. Now let me get this right. IGN writer Stella Chung claims that PlayStation never believed in Concord after game was shut down in less than 2 weeks. So IGN writer Stella Chung made the absurd claim that PlayStation never believed in Firewalk Studios after it was shut down less than 2 weeks after it was released. The Firewalk Studios game developer Ryan Ellis announced that the studio was shutting down the game and an Office PlayStation blog post. Blah blah blah. We've all know about this. So she went through and wrote that my heart breaks for Fireworks Studios. The fact that it wasn't even given at least 6 months to properly sit through a season and adjust as proper live service game is insane to me. It's very clear that PlayStation didn't believe in this from the start and have failed to support it. So in other words, you just need to keep spending money in a game that had less than 100 people playing it.
Yes.
Well, go broke, I suppose. Yeah. But that's why they've gone through and canned it. It's not because they don't believe in you. It's just because of the fact that they don't see a profit. Oh my God. You're going to tell me a game studio is actually a game studio? Or a publisher is actually a publisher? Who would have thought? Ferrets, can you believe publishers only care about money? How dare
I would have never even thought.
How dare they? Right? But, on other news, water is wet, sun is bright, and, game studio only wants, or game publishers only want to make money. Who would have thought?
Would have never even known.
It's like one of the great mysteries of the world. But, anyway. Anything else we want to add on this before we jump onto the Minecraft?
Oh boy.
Let's do it. Alright, so guys, obviously there has been a Minecraft trailer that had come out. It faces Jack Black and Jason Momoa, who looks like he's gained a lot of weight lately. But let's see what Aquaman and Unfunny Man has to say. We will break this down. So first things first. I haven't played a lot of Minecraft. I don't think I've ever played Minecraft. Ferrets.
I have.
You have, right. The portal. Is it actually blue?
So the only portal that I am aware of, and actually, mind you, I haven't actually played Minecraft in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the only portal that I know of is the portal to the Enderworld, and that's purple.
Yeah. That's my understanding, right? Was exactly what you said. It was this portal to this underworld, whatever. And it was actually...
the Enderworld.
Whatever. And it was actually purple. So, for a start,
No.
in the first... Sorry?
It's actually the Nether. It's not the Underworld. It's the Nether. Yeah.
Whatever. Right. Whatever this portal
I
does.
have to be correct because if I don't, people could call me out on it and be like, "Well, actually," and it's like, "Shut up."
Well, whatever. But, so my understanding is that, right, so this portal is purple. So already in the first 9 seconds of the clip, we already have them getting something factually wrong about portals.
I don't know.
This is not going to go well. I don't suspect that this movie is going to be received very well because, like, if you're in the opening sequence, now look, maybe this is another portal that's supposed to be added or something, or maybe I don't know. I never played Minecraft, but you think you get something as important as the first 9 seconds of the video correct, wouldn't you? I don't know. Is that too much to ask? But anyway, let's keep going.
Right this way.
Now, I will say the style here with the going through, with the landscapes and stuff, it definitely does look like Minecraft when it comes to that whole sort of block sort of stuff. They've done a really, really good job with that. The fact that it does actually look like a Minecraft map, so to speak, is actually very interesting. But is there anything you want to sort of mention when it comes to the Minecraft movie trailer so far? Anything at all?
I'm pretty sure like 95% of this movie is CGI.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm pretty sure these guys are just walking along the green screen right now.
Something like that, yeah.
Of course, we have to have our diversity tick box, right? Not talking about Jason Momoa here, by the way. I'm talking about this one.
I mean,
Although Jason Momoa, is he Hawaiian or what is Jason? I don't know. But you know, we got to have our female black, and you know, she's got to be plus size and overweight. And I'm surprised they haven't wheeled her in a wheelchair. What the fuck is with the sheep?
I do have to say, I mean, the face is a little disturbing.
Right, but to be honest, that's because it's blocky, right? I get that. Sheep are in Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
Are they pink?
No, they're white and black.
So why the fuck are these pink?
I don't know. I haven't played Minecraft in 2 years.
I haven't played Minecraft at all, and I know the fucking sheep aren't pink. But anyway, let's keep going.
What the hell?
Yeah, by the way, that was my same reaction as to what she just said. What the hell is that? I do like that. I like that scene where he sort of puts it down on the hammer and hits it and then makes that. They obviously have got that fairly game sort of, yeah.
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Can I make DEI go away?
Who are you?
I'm Steve.
So, is there a character called Steve or something in the game?
Technically, yes. It's the default character.
Right.
Its name actually is Steve.
Right. And is he anything like Jack Black, or is he?
Well, Steve isn't overweight, but
he's not overweight.
No, he's not overweight.
He's pretty
Like,
average from my understanding of what I've seen in videos.
Yeah, like if Jack Black lost weight, lost the beard, and fixed up his hair, he could actually pull off a pretty accurate Steve.
Right. Does Steve wear a blue shirt?
Yes.
Yes. Right. So they got that right at least. Well done. One out of things.
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
I do wonder that line, this guy is such a tool bag. I do wonder if that is some animosity that was on set. Like, was Jack Black on set being an absolute tool and that was sort of impromptu and they liked it and they kept it? Is that a dig at Jack Black? Because my understanding is that Steve doesn't really have a persona or been a bit of a tool bag. So I do wonder why it's sort of having a dig at Jack Black. But, does make you wonder. Let's keep going. So I like the song. I like the fact that they've sort of incorporated a lot of the blocking into the actual game. I like the fact that even just there at the end, where you actually go through and it does show you like them like building things with blocks. Right? I like that. I do. But so there's a white sheep.
That's not a sheep, that's a llama.
Okay, fine. There's a white llama. Are llamas in the game?
Yes.
Yep. So are they white?
White, the tan, other
Right.
colors.
So they got that right at least as well. So we got blue shirt Steve and white llamas is pretty much, and the blocks is pretty much all we got right out of the whole movie trailer so far. Alright, so you've watched the trailer. Unfortunately, you can't get that 1 minute 23 seconds back of your life. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I might go and actually see it because I'm a little curious about it.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I do wonder if I go and see it, if it's going to be a whole bunch of 8-year-olds. But Minecraft has been around for a while, so there might be some of the older generation that go and see it. But
that's why I plan on going to see it late on a Sunday night, but there will not be any kids there.
It does make you wonder, right? Because you might be going and watching Minecraft, and all you'll be hearing is a whole bunch of people telling kids to shut the fuck up. But like I say, my problem with it is the fact that they've gone through, and they had the opportunity to get this right, and I'm not a Minecraft player. I've never played Minecraft. I've seen a few videos of it and that's about it. Even I know the basics of Minecraft because it's so ingrained in our culture. And not only that, I know they've got shit wrong. This is not fucking hard, people. How do you get this wrong? Where do you get the pink sheep from? Why you got Jack
Someone
Black?
really like pink.
It's like, just make it according to the fucking law. It's not complicated. How many times do you have to fail at the fucking movie cinemas before you realise it? Now, by the way, I think this is going to be popular. Because here's the thing. I don't think kids that go and see this are going to care about that sort of stuff. I don't think the 8-year-old kids are going to say to their mum and dad, I'd love to go and see the new Minecraft movie, but I'm not going to go and see it because they've made a sheep pink. But, yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ferrets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go in and see it.
I'd probably like to go and see it too, just to go and see it. But, like I say, it does. Look, it does look like it's okay, but I can make some. I'm going to make some assumptions here. The female black character, this one, I guarantee you she's going to be a loudmouth. Because that's what they make. They make all black, big women loudmouths. Right? So she's going to be a loudmouth. This woman, the female here, is probably going to be the one that saves the day. Right? Because we won't have the boy save the day. The boy will probably do something stupid, or will probably do something to bring this on. And it's going to be the female that ends up righting the wrong. And Jason Momoa, the guy that's, got the fucking pink jacket, and I don't know how you got Jason Momoa into a pink jacket, but regardless. Pink jacket, I imagine he is probably going to be the one that's like the buffoon. Because he's the toxic masculine male. He's got the beard, he's got the mustache, even though he's got the jacket and everything like that. Like, this is Aquaman. Right? We can't have him saving the day. So we're going to have to make it so that he's the buffoon. And then Jack Black, I think, is going to be the person that you play the game through. Or it's going to be sort of like it's going to be your sort of like player in the game. He's sort of going to be the guide in the game world or something like that. What do you reckon?
I think about the same thing, yeah.
I do think it's going to be popular. I do think it's going to make money because, like I say, I don't think 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds are going to care about the pink sheep. Normally, when it comes to kids that don't care about politics or law or any of that sort of stuff, they'll be like, it's a Minecraft movie, I'm going to go see it. So I don't think you're going to have any worries about them boycotting it or anything like that. But, I think it'll do pretty well. Probably around 500 to 600,000 probably to make. Million, to make. It'll probably make about $500 million probably at the box office. I reckon it'll be about 600,000 to probably make it at the box office. What was the budget?
I have no idea.
I don't think it's going to be cheap because of the special effects. So, initially the primary budget was $150 million. Was allocated for the film. Later, Warner Brothers announced a budget of $100 million, with $100 million for the budget. Another source has mentioned a budget of $200 million, although it's unclear if that's a revised or the alternative figures. So, that's their budget, probably not including marketing. You're probably, I'm saying, let's split the difference. Say about $150 million. You're probably looking at about probably another $100 to $150 million for marketing, because you can't seem to watch a YouTube video without a fucking ad for it. So probably closer to $150 million, and which is smart. It's smart marketing because that's where a lot of the gamers are going to be. So at the end of the day, I would say this is probably a $300 million movie. To break even, it's going to need at least $600 million. So, or 550 to 600 million. So, it'll probably do that. It's probably going to be successful. But, yeah. Anything else before we jump on Star Citizen? I think we're up to Star Citizen now.
I believe we are up to Star Citizen, yeah.
Yeah. Guys,
boy, do we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding Minecraft. Are you interested in seeing it? What are your thoughts? Do you think it'll be a success? Personally, I think it will be. Alright. Star Citizen. I've been doing a lot of the talking for this. You want to take it away? What do you want to talk about first with Star Citizen?
I mean, we could talk about the new, exosuit. Yeah,
so the new mech for Star Citizen is sort of out in the PTU. So at the moment there is no price. I have seen someone going around claiming that it's about $130.
Oh no, no way.
But then I've also seen people saying that they're not going to sell it. So I would say it's...
Well, they're going to actually sell it because data miners have already found skins for it.
Well, what I'm hearing is
paint jobs.
what I'm hearing is it's going to be free to buy in game, maybe, but the skins you pay for. But I would suspect they're going to sell it too. I don't know. I think the 130 is a bit steep. What do you?
A lot of the people that I've been talking to are thinking around like 20 or $30.
I don't know about 20. I would say maybe around 40. 30 to 40. 30 to 40, I could see.
Would you... I mean, would you really think that they would sell basically a tractor beam that you can actually that you wear for $40?
Well, it's still a vehicle. They've still had to do development.
Yeah, but it's not worth $40 though. Like 30 is the highest.
Well, I did say I did say 30 to 40. The 40 was on the high end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I would say at the end of the day that it's interesting that it's not on the store at the moment. Obviously, this is in the 3.24.1 patch. It's on the PTU, which is open to everybody. It went to basically wave 5 straight away, pretty much. I would say it's interesting that it's in the PTU and that you can actually go through and just play it on the PTU. I do like the suit. I think the suit is cool. It definitely gives alien vibes. But this is not the first time that we've heard of mechs in Star Citizen either. Obviously, there's always been the mech suits that have been supposedly around. But this is just obviously the first time we've actually seen one of them in game. And this is obviously very different than the original Titan suit. I think was a sort of a gunning suit that the UNSC used to basically take out Vandal.
So,
like a support.
Basically, everything that you're saying is partially right.
It's like a support class.
First of all, the Titan suit is a modified version of the suit that we have coming up here soon. And it's not for the UNSC, that's for Halo.
Oh, sorry, not UNSC, UEE, sorry.
Yeah, for the UEE. A lot of people are actually thinking that they might try to sell actual combat suits during CitizenCon.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would say that you probably, with them going through and releasing this mech, I would say that I would probably expect something at CitCon, probably a presentation at least, or possibly a sale of it. Maybe at the Fleet Week, Invictus Week. I get those two mixed up. But the sales are around in November after CitizenCon. I would say you're probably going to see the suit then.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the suit? Do you like it? Don't like it?
I'd like it, and I plan on getting me 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably going to be an LTI token if it does go for sale. So probably should buy 2 at the very least. I will say it's probably going to help with loading as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts on the fact that you can't run with it?
I like it because you're wearing a suit like that. You probably shouldn't be able to actually do a full-out sprint into something like that.
Right.
it's mainly used for the industrial setting, so like running in it is the kind of like not really needed.
Yeah, I would say that with the size of some of the hangars, that running is probably a little bit needed. I would push back on that a bit. We have seen a bit of people on Twitter complaining because the suit got supposedly nerfed in the latest patch. It didn't really get nerfed. It's a lot of bullshit. What it got was that the tractor pull was, from my understanding, was slowed down. It was very fast. We can actually bring up the patch notes here actually and actually look at it.
I haven't actually heard anything about it getting nerfed.
So here's the patch notes here. Testing Fergus is the features, so the animation and polish pass, and then the Argo, they reduced the Argo Atlas throw force by 33%.
Yeah, that's not the tractor beam though.
What's the throw force? I thought that was on the tractor beam.
The throw force is the Atlas can actually throw things.
Oh, okay, it can throw boxes, can it?
Uh-huh.
Alright. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to jump in and play with it yet.
To be completely honest, I haven't actually tested it out since that patch came out. So I could be entirely wrong on that, but
But yeah, at the end of the day, people are claiming that's a nerf. To me, it doesn't seem like a nerf. It just seems like they're going through and just balancing the throw force a little bit.
Completely understandable, though.
Yeah. But yeah, some people are complaining just because, whiners want to complain and need content for videos and stuff. Besides the Atlas, anything else we want to talk about on that before we jump onto anything else with Star Citizen?
The Polaris is coming soon.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to basically a ferret running around playing in ice and snow, how excited are you for the Polaris?
I'm like on a 8 or 9 right now.
You're not quite the diving in the snow and tunneling through the snow and being all happy and...
Not yet.
Or is that just like for the address?
We're getting there though.
The Polaris definitely looks like a good ship. I like it. It's very expensive. It's not something I own, but I believe you and John both own one.
Have a one what?
Polaris.
Yes, I do have one.
I'm thinking John also has one too. I think he said. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it. I presume when it's in game, you guys will probably give me the guided tour and we'll probably put up a video about it. But at the end of the day, when do you expect to see the Polaris? Do you reckon it's going to be the November sales?
I think so, yeah.
Do you reckon we'll get a presentation at SitCon with the Polaris?
Do we get maybe? I mean,
you reckon they'll show it off?
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah. But what do you think we'll get for CitizenCon? Do you think we're going to get just Pyro? Do you think we'll get to see Nynx? What do you think's going to, presentation wise?
I hope we don't get to see Pyro because like we've seen it for like the last 3 or 4 years now.
It is pretty much like we've seen it already, right? It does make you wonder. The big elephant in the room is do you think we'll get to see Nynx?
I hope so.
What do you think we'll get at SitCon? Do you have any predictions? You were talking earlier about making your bingo cards. What's on your bingo cards for SitCon?
Well, it's going to be Squadron 42 release date,
Yep.
base building,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some more about the Polaris, some more star systems, maybe a like update on the Maelstrom damage model.
I will let you know that the Squadron 42 is on the front page of CIG's website now. You probably can see it on the screen share.
Yeah, and also when they updated their webpage, they removed almost every mention of the word alpha.
Yeah. It does still stay on the front page that in early access now. It doesn't say alpha, it says in early access. But alpha has always been, for anybody that doesn't know game dev, alpha has always been when a game is still needing core mechanics put into it. So until until CIG puts in server meshing, Dymatic, that to me is still alpha. Yeah. And then maybe even a little bit after that, maybe, but depending on what it is. But it has to be core mechanics. So I'm not talking about systems or any of that sort of stuff. Just core mechanics themselves makes it an alpha. Apart from Squadron 42, CitizenCon, the mech and the Polaris, what else have we got for CIG? Obviously we do have the 3.24.1 patch going to PTU. It is basically all backers. And like we said, it does actually have the suit in it. So obviously people can go through and check. It does have stability and bug fixes. It has the Argo Atlas, access for all backers for the PTU. There are a few known issues, but there are also a lot of bug fixes that they put into it as well. They also fixed 2 client crashes, 4 server crashes, and fixed an Argo Atlas tractor beam client crash. Is there anything else on CIG that we need to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
What about this week in CIG? I presume we do have that now.
Yes.
Went up today.
Thursdays inside the Star Citizen is going to be something pretty good.
So, Thursday is Inside Star Citizen, as Ferris has already said. We have a deep dive into the current state of the Mark II and a glimpse of the new MDFs coming to the verse. And on Friday, it's Star Citizen Live with Q&A with Chad McKinney on all things cargo and hangars. Both of those should be good, actually, to be honest. What are your thoughts on the Zeus Mark II? When do you reckon we'll get to see it? Well, we know we'll get to see it actually earlier than we thought. Actually.
Yeah. Much earlier.
Yeah.
I believe it's actually going to be dropped for CitizenCon.
Well, actually, I think before then, maybe even. But we go to the roadmap. And we look at the tractor view, release view. And the 3.24 now has tentative the Mark II ES and the CL. And its release date is listed as August 28th, but that is obviously the 3.24. That's not the 0.1 patch. I think we will probably get to see that maybe within the... They went to all backers already.
Oh, what? The suits?
The 3.24.1. I reckon the Zeus...
Yes,
when
3.24.1 went wave of 5 like Sunday.
Yeah, pretty much straight off the bat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going through... Yeah, actually it was 3.24.1. First one I saw was September the 7th. Although I think there might have been a patch before then. But it basically went straight to all backers. Do you think we'll get the Zeus in the 3.24.1, or do you think it would be just the 3.24.2, or what do you think?
I'm still thinking we're gonna get it for CitizenCon. I think 24.2 is going to be the CitizenCon patch.
Mm. And then why do you think they might drop 4.0 for December?
Honestly, I believe that they're just gonna drop 4.0 into the PTU, have it wave a 5 like a week before a Christmas break, and then just leave it at that.
Maybe. Well, I have to see it, CitizenCon. Obviously, you guys, we will stream the event on the day. So we will be obviously doing that. Apart from that, is there anything else we want to cover in Star Citizen before we jump off?
No, I think that's about it.
Oh, the digital goodies pack. Are you buying it? What are your thoughts?
I've already bought several of the pack.
Of course. I'm yet to buy mine, I must admit. But it does come with the armor. So it comes with the trophy, the challenge coin, redacted item 1, redacted item 2, then the CitizenCon storage chest, which will be interesting, the sapphire armor flight suit, the helmet, the CitizenCon rifle, and the themed double bed, and the black box, and the themed Spectrum badge. So I'm yet to buy that, which will probably be sometime this week, or maybe next week. Depending on.
That's such a sexy gun, though.
It is. It is very, very nice. I do like the flight suit too, to be honest. Actually.
Oh yeah. Did you know that is actually that's the same flight suit that you wear in the Squadron 42 trailer, but it's just a different color.
Cool. When you say the sexy gun, talking about the blue or the black and brown?
The black one, but I mean they're the same gun, just a different skin.
Yeah, I like the black. That's the P8 too, by the way. The P8AR.
Yeah, but
that we're talking about.
Yeah, but they specified that is technically the civilian version, so it's not a assault rifle; it's a DMR now.
Yeah, it says single fire.
Yeah, they had to change that because everyone kept asking if it was full automatic,
Yeah.
which it is not.
No, and to be honest, my DMRs were always fun in Halo, so I don't have a problem with it being a DMR.
And so long as it like hits hard enough to be a DMR, then that's fine.
So it's semi-automatic, so one pull, one bullet, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, honestly, that's not a bad thing because I find that a semi-auto rifle is a lot more precise than a fully automatic one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have the sort of the walk, the spray.
The recoil.
Yeah, the recoil. Right? Yeah. Well, the recoil is what makes it go up, which can affect, but also assault rifles and full-on automatic guns, they walk a bit. Like, for example, if you ever get into a gunfight, Uzis are terrible for gunfights. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they spray. I like it. I like the gun. I like the suit. I don't like the blue gun, but yeah, whatever. But yeah. Apart from that, anything else we want to talk about before we jump off?
No.
All right, guys. Those are your thoughts in that comment section below. Obviously, it's been a long show, guys. It's 2.5 hours almost. So at the end of the day, we do apologise for that, but there's been a lot to cover. Apart from that, you got anything coming up live stream wise for it?
No, I'm actually going to be making a YouTube video this weekend though.
Right. Anything spoiler? You got no spoilers?
It won't be anything special. It's gonna be me recounting one of my chaotic like evenings that I had literally 2 nights ago. It was like originally supposed to be a pretty laid back night, and it turned out that I made a new friend. He's a rookie, didn't know what was exactly going on. So I started teaching him. Then we went off looking for loot. Ran into some other players. He started shooting them for no reason. They thought we were hostile. We fired back. A whole fight broke out, and we somehow survived. And
So I was going to say,
it was crazy.
right up until he started shooting other players. So we got a new friend for the machinima, but if he's shooting other players, probably not the guy we want in the machinima.
I told him several times, don't fucking shoot. He still shot anyway.
So he doesn't listen. Welcome to my world, ferrets. You know how I feel sometimes.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
At least I stopped eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, well, so did he eventually.
I don't like your tone and attitude.
Anyway, as for me, guys, obviously I might be streaming. We got to finish off the brothel. We've got to make a whole bunch of other buildings like a blacksmith and all that sort of stuff. We've also got to do some character design on the game, so it's going to be mostly the pirate game related. But we do have some really, really cool ideas, and I'm looking forward to telling Ferrets about the ideas actually and see what he has to say, because I don't think he knows so much. I haven't seen these guys much for this week, so it's been hard to catch up with them. I've been declaring war on bugs. Insert Starship Troopers meme.
Bugs. Oh man, so you're no, no. You're not Starship Troopers. You are
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But anyway, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below, guys. Obviously, the video's been helpful. Please smack that like button. Obviously, go follow Ferrets' channel. He's going to put up a video for once, so go give him some love. And obviously, keep an eye out for my streams, which will probably have no notifications, and probably will just be whenever I feel like it. So, yeah, that makes it hard to get followers. But you know, I must admit, when I do the development stuff, the streams don't do too bad, actually, considering. Apart from that, guys, have a great night, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you in the verse. You want to say bye, Ferrets?
Goodbye.